Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video, and guys, we just got out of A Quiet Place Part 2. Me and my bro Jaron. Jaron, say what's up. He's backing out, so he's probably going to be driving while we're talking about this. But guys, John Krasinski is literally brilliant. The man is brilliant. This sequel was so freaking good. By far, he outdone it. Like, he did something that no one else can do. You know how hard it is to make a sequel to a movie, especially a scary movie in general? Like, sequels in general are hard, but this man was able to pull off a great first movie and beat the great first movie, even make the second one even better. I swear to God, if he does a third movie, which by the way this movie ends, you could totally do a third film. If he could do a third one and make it three and get 3 dubs, dude, he is the best filmmaker of all time. Honestly, like, out of all movies that had sequels, he had the best sequel, hands down. And like, he's gonna go down in cinema for having the best, like, 2 movies out of, because it's, again, that's hard to do. And John did it. It looks like he did it effortlessly, honestly. Like, it was just so good. Like, Jaron, like, what did you like about this movie, bro?
Everything, basically.
Like, it was such, it was, and it was such a great, it was such a great contender to the first one.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it gave me all the questions we were asking about. Like, I love how John, literally, this movie starts off literally day 1 of when with the alien breakout.
Yeah.
With, like, it's day 1, and you know, we see John going to the grocery store, or his name is Lee in the movie, and he's getting, you know, oranges and, you know, stuff for, because his son has a baseball game, and, you know, he meets up with his wife and, you know, his daughter. And pretty much we run into Emmett, which Emmett is, you know, the guy that, he was also in, the guy that plays Emmett is the guy also that's in, you know, Batman Begins, that plays Scarecrow. I forget his actual name, but I think he's a great actor. But literally, so we meet up with him, we learn a little bit more about that. I think, if I'm correct, I don't know if it was his friend Emmett or it was his brother Emmett. I'm not sure. I think it was just his friend. I'm not sure. But literally, guys, we learn more about that dynamic because we end up seeing Emmett, like, later on throughout the film. And I do love how it's just, you know, things are building up, you know, right when he's in the grocery store and you're getting, oh, sorry about that, and getting the, you know, the oranges and all that. I love how they're showing that dynamic of, like, he knows everybody around the town. They're all connected, and like, it's a very small town. He knows everybody. And I love how the scene where we see the rocket ship on the shelf, yeah, from the first movie with their first, like, with their little baby boy. I love how they, like, do, like, oh, like, remember you guys saw us in the first movie? Well, here it is, and you guys are gonna see, you know what I mean? It's like a, yeah. I do love that. It's such a little nod that, yeah, you guys saw that, and that's gonna be happening soon. But I love how, like, when he's at the baseball game, you know, he's talking with his daughter, you know, he's cutting an orange on the bench, and she's like, that's disgusting. He's like, disgusting. And Emmett's like, what is she saying? And saying, oh, it's disgusting. And I love how, like, he's learning, you know, sign language from her, Emmett. And I love how the dynamic of, you know, Emily's character is, pretty much, she is, you know, she's, pushing her son on the swings. And, you know, we get a little bit more of a dynamic there because I want to know how close, you know, her and her, you know, baby boy were. And we get like some remnants that they were really, really close, and we just learn more about this family and why we care for them. And I love the sequence where, you know, Emily and, you know, Lee and all them are just, like, are telling the son to just breathe, and, you know, you'll be able to, you know, hit the baseball. And I love how, like, he almost pauses, drops the bat, sees pretty much the crash happening of the alien creatures, literally seeing it, and everybody starts running to their cars, like, because they don't know what's going on. But yet, previously, while he was in the grocery store, we end up seeing on the news that, I guess, you know, someone thought it was a bombing, but it wasn't a bombing, as we know. It was happening everywhere, that these creatures were coming down, but they didn't know what it was. And I guess Emmett had a brother that was in the military, and that's why, you know, Lee asked Emmett, like, oh, you know, did you ask your brother what's going on? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna call him. But we don't know what happens to Emmett, but we do know what happens to Lee and all the other characters. Lee is taking, you know, his daughter to the car, which, you know, he parked in town. And, you know, while, you know, Emily Blunt's character and, you know, her son and her little boy are all in the car right there because they parked right at where the baseball game was taking place. And I do love how like I do love how like when we just get all that stuff. Like that's the beginning of everything, and everything starts getting crazy and breaking out right when they get back to, right when Lee gets back to his car. Everything starts going to shit, and that was a crazy sequence. Like you felt it building up, and when you saw it, when their son saw that the crash happening, I was like, oh shit, it's happening, bro, it's happening. And right when that police car showed up, I knew it. I remember that scene from trailers and stuff. And his friend got out, that his friend was the police officer, got out, and that's what was going on, and it just got like decked, literally in his car. Police car got decked, and I knew right away that was it was about to happen. But they built it up so well, and us sort of learning around that time when it first started happening about being silent and stuff. They kind of picked up on that, or at least Lee's character did. He's like, oh my god, I think that sound. He was kind of picking up on it. And oh my god, I loved the opening sequence, and I love how like right from there we cut back to where the first one left off, which was I was so happy that's where it left off. I'm happy there was no jump or anything. It took place right where the last one left off. I love how also like right when they get to the point where they are literally leaving the path of their safe area, when they get to the point where there's no more sand and they have to go into the unknown, was such a beautiful sequence. And I loved it. I loved the cinematography. I loved the soundtrack was fire, bro, wasn't it? The soundtrack was good. The story was phenomenal. This was the opening the world I wanted to see. The first movie was like it was limited. It was limited to the family, and all we knew was the family, and we were just surrounded by the family, learning about the family. This movie opens the world to everybody and new characters and knowing what the world's like outside of their little bubble that they had, but the bubble is broken and you see them going out into the unknown. And that was such a beautiful way John captured everything, was with this family's not in the bubble anymore. And what happened to the family of Lee was like, and the promise that Lee said to his wife and said he was going to keep about protecting the kids. Now that Lee is gone, the bubble is no more. Everything went to shit, and they have to go outside that bubble because they can't stay where the bubble got broken. So I do love how it's open world now. You're learning about new characters, learning more about people, some people that have lost it, some people that are sane, what people have went through, what Emmett went through with his wife and his kids. And I just love that. I love the world building. I love the way this movie felt. Hands down, there is no other better movie like this. No other better movie like this. This beats all scary movies. All of them. He made a story that was a great story and had scares because of the story. Not just scares to make things bigger and better, but just scares that just happened in the story. He had no agendas with this John, and that's why I think John is literally I think he's the new way of directing. Like, it's so impressive from from a guy that was on The Office and did something like that to a guy behind the camera making a great first movie and making a phenomenal second movie. That's really hard to do, and John literally made it look like it was an easy dub. And I just want to say, John, if you see this video, bro, you are a talented man. I hope you make a third movie. I hope we do, bro.
Yeah.
We hope you make a third movie. You totally could. But you make it if it fits with the story. I love how John said it, because John said it in a press panel at the end of a movie. At the end of the movie, I think it was in Los Angeles. He went to theaters when it first opened, the second movie, and they did a press panel, I guess, or an interview after the screening. And people asked him that, why, what made you want to do the second one? He's like, that's a great question, because, most people do second movies as a cash grab. I wanted to do a second movie to figure out what can I do with these characters and what else can I tell with them and what else can we explore with these characters in the world that we have built. And that is such a smart way and an answer of a response to that, because, again, most people make sequels, as we all know, for a cash grab, and that's so true. And he made a sequel to better the story, to open the world of the story, to make us learn more about the characters and care about the characters and even more. And there was jump scares and great moments of scary moments, but it fit into where the characters were going naturally. It didn't feel forced. It felt perfect. I enjoyed this movie every second of every moment, and I'm definitely going to be seeing this again with my sister, 100%. I'm going to be owning this on the 4K, Blu-ray, special edition, Steelbook. I'm owning this movie on a Steelbook for sure. I love this movie. I enjoy this movie. It was just all played out so well. It didn't feel forced. The runtime was amazing. It didn't feel like it was too fast or too slow. It felt so perfect. And guys, by the way, and I didn't say it in the beginning of the story, but this is a spoiler review. So again, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. But if you don't care about spoilers, then you guys already heard what I have said. But also I'm going to put this in the beginning of the video just so you guys know as well. So, literally guys, there are literally like one death in this movie of a character that we kind of get to know, but you know, he's important. He's not that important. We just met him, so we didn't really. But I got pretty attached to the dude right away. And I mean, but other than that, I loved this movie. It was everything I hoped it would be. It's everything like my mind could even think of almost. Like this was just a beautiful sequel.
Yeah.
But guys, I can't wait to hear what you guys, hear what you guys thought about the movie, because this was just a masterpiece. Literally, if you haven't seen it, go see it. I would suggest you see it in IMAX if you have a local IMAX theater. If you can't see it in IMAX, just go see it in a theater. I'm happy John waited to release this in the theater and not on like HBO Max or anything, or I'm just so happy he released it in theaters and he waited, because that was a smart move on his behalf, because you cannot see this movie without seeing it in a theater.
Yeah.
You just can't.
No.
I would love to see this movie in Dolby because how loud the scares are, but I don't think they do it in Dolby. I think they just do it in IMAX. But I'm just so happy I saw it in IMAX because there was no borders and it looked so nice and so clear and so great. But John, you're a genius, man. I loved you when you played Jim. I loved you and Jack Ryan. But dude, you're a freaking beast at filming. And I can't wait to see what other projects you do. But without further ado, guys, I'm ending this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. Me and Jeremy will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.